Hey, Jonathan Blackwood here with Commercial Integrator on behalf of HDBaseT. We are broadcasting live from HDBaseT's booth at ISE 2020, and I'm lucky to be joined by Omer Epstein of Syncpro. Brookstein, sorry about that, from Syncpro.
Yes.
Omer, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Jonathan, for having me.
So just to start out, for those that might not know, what is Syncpro and why are you guys here at ISE 2020?
Okay, so at Syncpro we develop essentially a SaaS platform, a cloud platform, to better deploy, manage, and monitor modern workplace IoT devices. And what we are showing here at the show for the first time is our partnership with Valence, which basically, together with Valence, we make the HDBaseT chip cloud connected. So now we allow system integrators and customers to better deploy, manage, and constantly monitor the HDBaseT chips from the cloud.
Yeah, and Internet of Things, there's so many devices that can be connected to the network right now, and especially on the AV side. And I'm not sure that the AV industry always thinks of, a display or something like that as IoT, but that's not really the case. And IoT is a little bit fluid, but really, what does your platform manage, and what can it manage on the AV side?
So everything in this industry pretty much today is an IoT device. Everything has an Ethernet port, right? I was working for Crestron for many years, and when Crestron integrated an Ethernet port on their devices 20-some years ago, no one called it IoT at the time, but it was pure IoT, right? And the beautiful thing is that cloud technologies today allow us to do so much better things that we could not do a few years ago. And what I really think is that in this industry we make wonderful hardware, but sometimes the software is not as good, right? And what we try to do at Syncpro is really write the kind of software, the cloud software, that will make this hardware shine. So we work with HDBaseT, and like we're displaying here, and some other manufacturers as well. And the idea is that we want to give, I guess, a clear view to the CIOs of the organization, and a way to easily monitor and get notification when any of their devices falls.
Yeah. And this is something that we write about a lot, is the convergence of AV and IT. I think a lot of people thought it was like, okay, they converge and one swallows the other, but that's not really. It's sort of created something new, and platforms like yours speak directly to that, and it's more, I think, of the IT-ification of AV.
Right.
Make it so that an IT department that is hiring an integrator can understand how to manage those products the same way they understand how to manage their IT products. Do you find the same thing?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, AV definitely converges to the IT, but it hasn't completed yet.
Yeah.
And depends on the organization, depends on different stages. But I guess that due to lack of standards in many ways, and there's still some uniqueness to the AV industry, we need to make it more IT friendly.
Yeah.
So for example, one of the things that we do, if you go to any IT department out there, they use a ticketing system, right, like ServiceNow and others. Since we monitor the HDBaseT link all the time, as soon as that link goes above a certain threshold, we instantly open a ticket in ServiceNow for them, because that's a system that IT people talk, right, and understand. And then we send a notification for them on Slack or Microsoft Teams, because that's what they use on their phone and mobile devices. So we try to merge the two from our side, right, the AV and the IT side.
Yeah, and so integrators that are utilizing your product, is there a certain amount of programming or IT knowledge that they need to have to be able to utilize your product?
So I like to say that we try to SaaS it, but by SaaS it, I mean we want to simplify and modernize that, right? So you want to try to keep it as simple as possible, and we see that most meeting spaces worldwide, they're pretty much the same, right? You have one or two displays, LG or Samsung, a codec, maybe two table boxes. So we try to form those, I call them almost like IKEA kit, right? And then for the integrator, it's even easier. But if the integrator still wants to write their custom code, that's fine. We give them our open API, and they can connect their devices to our cloud. And the other thing that is very important to integrators today, especially as hardware prices decline, is integrators want to build a better bond with their customers and become a valued advisor, and we allow those integrators to essentially sell managed services on top of our platform. So they can now manage different customers on the same platform and see alerts from different customers, and not only calling them and say, hey, you have a problem, but calling them and say, hey, you had a problem, we already fixed it for you.
Yeah, absolutely, which is a huge benefit on both sides.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of benefits on both sides, you mentioned that you guys have partnered with HDBaseT. How long has that partnership been going on, and what does it provide you guys, and what does it provide HDBaseT?
Okay, so I think it's a clear example of a win-win-win situation, right? We partner. I've been working with HDBaseT and Valence for many years in my role at Crestron, and I know these guys for many years. And about probably 6 months ago, maybe 5 months ago, I came to them and said, hey, I have a great idea. Let's make your chip, cloud connected. And Gabi and his team loved the idea, Gabi Moti and their team, because for the first time, Valence can understand how their chip are being used in the field, right? And give great value for their partner manufacturer and their end users. And obviously for us, it's another great set of manufacturer being connected to our cloud. So it's a clear win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. And if people come and visit your booth here at ISE, will they see some examples of how you guys have worked together with HDBaseT and
oh,
how
yeah,
that
absolutely.
really
We show a
works?
live demo here, and we actually show a good cable and bad cable. So if the signal drops or go above a certain error threshold, we send an alert to the mobile device in the portal, and they can see that. If the link is being disconnected, they can see that. They can see real status is actually going from here to the cloud and back to our demo here, and it's all working pretty amazingly.
Okay, well, I encourage everyone to check it out in that case. Omer Brookstein here at ISE 2020, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you.